I feel like India is such a huge market. You know, like 5 years back, we could do events in 4 to 5 cities, and right now, Martin Garrix with Sunburn did a 8 city tour. And you know, like every market saw like 15,000 people. So just like, you know, there are so many markets that have opened up in India, and I mean, you know, like it's called tier one, tier two, tier three. Or tier two or tier three is not seen those kind of experiences yet. So it's kind of, it's also taking these brands and educating the audience over there.
Love it, love it. Nizar, what strategies have you employed to maintain the grassroots essence of Soundscapes, like while scaling it up?
So, Grassroots, I think we actually in our mission statement, in our vision statement, we do mention the term grassroots, because as I said earlier, we had began the festival as artists for our community, and I think that in order to maintain that, you want to stay as far away from sponsorships, actually. So it may kind of go against some other festivals, but we try to keep it as raw as possible, just not to overshadow our vision and what we're trying to do, and have influence from other shareholders that may have other intentions. And so to do that, I think you want to keep it as sponsor-free as possible, and it creates a very natural setting, I think, like our vision comes to life without any intervention from anybody else. And I think also being open to expanding your community. We have a lot of people from Saudi, for example, reach out to us, want to get involved, and if you keep an open door policy, no barrier to entry, I think that's really how you build an expanded community. And that's really how it's continued to grow. About 70% of the lineup for our festival is from the region. We have artists from Saudi, from the UAE, from Egypt. All the set designers, lighting designers are all from the region too. So I think, yeah, just no sponsorship, there's really no budget. So really the people who want to get involved really care. And I think that's how you entice a grassroots movement.
I love that, and I think it kind of takes us nicely onto that point about the kind of the finances behind live events, because I mean, to the kind of untrained eye, we just all rock up for work and suddenly this event happens and people don't really understand the huge cost implications behind it. And I think there's twofold, isn't it? It's kind of, it's your point about, you know, clubbers and, you know, music lovers are very sensitive to brand overkill. So I think increasingly with the kind of installation of boutique festivals as opposed to these massive big, you know, like in Scotland we had Tea in the Park and, you know, these huge wireless, like, you know, these massive brand festivals. It's lovely to retain that kind of brand identity, but then how do we go about funding these events? So, and I know that, I mean, a lot of the festivals I work on are very heavily reliant on local government and municipal funding. To support them, to enable them to happen. There's always an element of sponsorship, of course, your drinks, your bars, things like that. But opposed to having to take, you know, £1 million deals to brand your main stage, it's about that authenticity and retaining that DNA. So, I mean, particularly now since the financial crisis, as we know, everything, the whole supply chain, the costs have gone through the roof everywhere. I'd really love you guys to share, I guess, your insights into, you know, not obviously digging in too deep into the finances, but, you know, what kind of local support you get, you know, how you work with sponsorship, what the implications of, I guess, COVID and since with the financial crisis that we are in globally, you know, what's the impact been in your individual business and how are you, I guess, mitigating that without it affecting your consumers?
Yeah, there is a point, we were just talking about this before. I think it's very important to have in mind where your festival is happening, because it's not only about the continent, each region has its own dynamics. Like Barcelona has some dynamics that Madrid does not have, you know, and we're in the same country. So how do you it comes related to the topic about like romanticizing working in live events and in music festivals. It's very hard work, and one of the key points is how your festival is financed. And you know, Sonar, what I really like and respect about Sonar is that we're still very true to our core since we began. So and Sonar, it's Barcelona, you know, and it's very rooted in the city. The people from Barcelona really feel that, you know, they own the festival, and we really like that, and it's a very communal and very local experience actually too. Beyond the size of the festival, you know, we have 120,000 people, but 70% of those 120 are from Spain, and of those 70% of Spain, there's 60% that are from Barcelona and the metropolitan area. So when you go to Sonar, you really feel that you are in Barcelona. That's what we want to get. And so this goes related with financing, because I agree totally what you were saying, Azar. You know, like the brands, when they want to sponsor a festival, what they're looking for is to get to your audience, to get visibility, and to get related to your brand, because getting related to your brand will give them a kind of prestige that is already vetted by your audience. So it's a very, you know, very valid way of financing.